The Twin Valley Locker Room Show now talks Tiger wrestling as we're joined by the head coach of the Clay Center Tigers, Brandon Pigorsh. Happy New Year, first off, Coach, as we get into 2021. I know it's an odd year. That's stating, Captain Obvious in a big way, but it's been even unique in the fact that you had such a long layoff between the end of the 2020 portion and then the moratorium went a little longer than normal. And now you're finally back at it. What's day one and day two been like getting back on the mat?
Well, Happy New Year to you as well. But yeah, it's definitely different. It's almost like you got two seasons going here. You had season one, seeing, I guess, kind of feeling how things will go. And then we got season two getting ready to start. But things went really well. I don't think we ever had, our full lineup, I guess you could say, of all of our wrestlers and, ever throughout the course of that first part of the season. So the kids did very well with the lineup that we had and they wrestled awesome. And so now I'm excited to see, what this second part of the season, we get everybody back healthy and hopefully, no COVID quarantine or any of that. And we can just have our full team, and I'm looking forward to it.
You said it feels kind of like two different seasons. Season one, if you will, went really, really well, 10-2 in duels. You've got some senior leadership certainly on this team, but overall it's a very young team. And it's been impressive to see how the youth, along with your upperclassmen, have really responded to this year so far.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. And coming back, it's like, some of these kids I was expecting had to be kind of out of shape, but they've come back and had done a nice job over the break of staying in shape and being ready. So come back, practice has gone well. And yeah, the team this semester is healthy as of right now. Got one guy we're just kind of waiting to get back, but yeah, it's the young guys have stepped up and done a really nice job, and the senior and the older upperclassmen have done a great job at just kind of fostering those kids and leading them. And these other kids have just stepped up and they're competitors, all the way through. And so they're competing, whether it be upperclassmen or younger. So the whole team's wrestling really well.
You mentioned it was almost like two seasons, start of a second season. Does it almost feel like there's three seasons? There was 2020, there's early 2021, and we're way less than a month from starting the postseason, right?
Yeah, with the way that they've figured how this postseason is going, you don't get much turnaround time. It's like we come back this month of January and we'll wrestle 5 duels and 3 tournaments, and that's it. And then it's postseason time. Finding JV matches has been really hard. It's been kind of one of the struggles for us, and that's disappointing. But overall, just seeing so many different kids get in the lineup, lots of kids have gotten experience. So I'm very thankful for that.
And a very competitive wrestling room. You've mentioned that several times during the season already, and I'm sure that will continue. Wrapping your head and your preparation for postseason, and it's across the state for everybody, but this is completely different than you've ever done before. What is the mindset?
Yeah, definitely. As a coach, you kind of look at your season from an overall standpoint, and you say, hey, we need to peak, at this time and be at our best. So we kind of arrange our schedule a certain way. It just takes the whole process. It's different. No 2-day weigh-ins. The number of competitors at the state tournament's cut in half. So you're going to have, 3 tough weeks of qualifying, depending on, geographically where you are within the state. But it's definitely going to be a tougher qualifying process. I guess one of the thankful things I see in that is if you do make it to the state tournament, you're right in there for placing. So, that's a good thing. But yeah, it's going to be a different qualifying process. It's going to have to keep the kids healthy. I'm going to have to get them revved up in their shape a little bit earlier if we can. And yeah, it's just going to definitely be a little bit different process. So
let's talk about this weekend for you guys, going back to your alma mater, Harrington. Always fun to head back and be in the home of the Railers. I know for you and for your team, this is a good tournament for you guys every year.
Yeah, we've, just started going to this a few years ago. Looking forward. It's nice to go back home. to my hometown and be able to compete and be in that same gym. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's good to see some of the teams we're going to see. We'll see some 4A teams that are geographically close with us, with Abilene and Chapman. And we'll get to see some teams we haven't seen throughout the season. So they've cut the tournament down actually to 8 teams and did 2 sites. But it's going to be a quality competition. It's our first actual bracketed tournament we get to compete in. So looking forward to that and seeing how the kids respond, because we've done all duels so far. So this will be a new look for us. Looking forward to it, and I think we're going to do well.
They've also done some things differently with your duels, and we'll look to next week. We're covering the what was the Marysville duel. Now it's Marysville and Abilene, a double duel. And they're doing that obviously to try to get all the duels in they can, right?
You're right. We have 5 league duels every season, and they're usually single, just so we can give more, events. You can have some more home events that way. Unfortunately, just with cancellations, we're going to end up doing double duels when we duel Marysville and Abilene. That one will be here in our senior night. And then when we wrestle Wamego and Chapman, we're going to go to Chapman to do that. And so that'll be a double duel now. And then Concordia right now stands alone as a single duel, but we may try to book another team. And that'll be the next, Thursdays throughout January. So that'll be our duel nights.
Well, it's going to move faster than it moves so quick every year, but this year it's just it's crazy how quick early February is going to be the beginning of postseason. Such a difference from what it has been before. Coach, as always, appreciate the time. Look forward to seeing you guys in person next week for the Locker Room Show. Okay.
Absolutely, looking forward to it. Thanks a lot.
Coach Brandon Pigors with us on the Twin Valley Locker Room Show.